President, my motion this morning has two basic essence. How do we enhance our foreign policy and bridge the gap that currently exists? How do we use our foreign policy to create jobs? And so, Mr. President, there appear to be lacuna in our foreign policy, and that lacuna is not having requisite economic policy. What happens is, Mr. President, we've become Father Christmas and we don't have commensurate returns on what we do in regards to our foreign policy. Mr. President, the Senate notes that prior to Nigerian independence in 1960, our fundamental foreign policy principles have remained unchanged. Rather, every succeeding administration in the country has come up with new circumstantial mechanisms aimed at achieving our foreign policy goals. Notes further that fundamental policy principles and objectives of Nigerian foreign policy, invented by the first Prime Minister of Nigeria, Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, have remained unaltered irrespective of the different changes in government till date. These leaders demonstrated serious commitment to these guiding principles of our foreign policies, which is clearly spelled out in Section 19, bracket A to E of 1999 Constitution as amended, and this includes promotion and protection of our national interests, promotion of African integration and support for African unity, promotion of international cooperation for consolidation of universal peace and mutual respect among all nations, and elimination of discrimination in all its manifestations, respect for international law and treaty obligations, as well as seeking of settlements of international disputes by negotiation, mediation, conciliation, arbitration, adjudication, and promotion of a just world economic order. Senate is aware that Nigeria has played several pivotal roles based on her foreign policy thrust for African countries and the world at large, like ending apartheid in South Africa, bringing about peace, stability in Liberia, Guinea, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Gambia, and in many other African countries, just to mention but a few. The Senate is also aware that the international scene, Nigeria is one of the major troop contributing nations to United Nations peacekeeping operation around the world, and is globally recognized for her readiness and commitment, which participating in United Nations peacekeeping operation in Congo in 1960. Senate is therefore worried that notwithstanding our nation's vital role in Africa and world at large, some of our citizens who reside in some of these countries are treated with disdain. So many of our nationals are being killed and maimed for reasons that are really despicable. The xenophobia attack by South Africans against Nigerians who live and conduct legitimate business in their midst is still fresh in our minds. More so from Kenya to the Maghreb and across South Africa, discrimination against Nigerians and other non-nationals have been on the rise, as can be seen in various international media reports. The Senate is therefore concerned that's Section 14B of 1999 Constitution as amended, states that security and welfare of people shall be the primary purpose of government. This shows that welfare and security of lives of all Nigerians, wherever they are resident in the world, shall be the core responsibility of the government of the day through our various foreign missions abroad. Furthermore, concerned that many Nigerians living abroad are faced with harsh economic conditions from their host countries, and sometimes their efforts to get relief from our foreign missions abroad doesn't usually get them the needed attention. Accordingly, the Senate resolves to mandate the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs and any other relevant committee to investigate the several alleged maltreatment and killings of Nigerians abroad, as well as take into consideration the doctrine of diplomatic reciprocity in its activities and report back to the Senate within 4 weeks. Second, to urge Federal Executive Council, to urge federal government to reassess our foreign policy objectives in a hostile, unstable, and competitive global environment, which operates on the principle of survival of the fittest, to ensure that Nigerian investors, businessmen are accorded the right of first offer of refusal, especially in those countries where Nigeria fought tirelessly for their liberation, emancipation, freedom, peace, and security. The third one is to implore the federal government to going forward, imbibe Nigerian economic interests as a vital component of our foreign policy objective, especially in countries where the nation invested enormous human and material resources to restore security, peace, and stability and democracy, as the era of Father Christmas will certainly be over. Mr. President, again, the essence of this motion, Mr. President, is the fact that we ought to have focused foreign economic policy. Except we have that, the gap will continue to exist. Mr. President, 4 years ago, we have what they call TAC, and I think TAC still exists. The essence of TAC is to provide a platform for our professionals, young professionals, to go outside the country and acquire experience and assist other nations. If you recall, most countries have judges and high caliber of Nigerians in their cabinets. The reason was that over the years, Nigeria has been sending them, but of recent, I think that has stopped. And then we have what they call the PAC as well. PAC is supposed to be the training that Nigerians should get from United Nations. All these are platforms that will help us provide job opportunity for the younger generation. Mr. President, there is no nation on earth that has foreign policy without requisite economic foreign policy. They must work hand in hand, and it's only in that way that what we give out will have commensurate return for us. Thank you, Mr. President, dear colleagues.